Despite his family's ties to the Church of Ireland, at the age of 15, C.S. Lewis became an atheist after being influenced by what he referred to as the argument from undesign, set forth by Lucretius, a Roman philosopher and poet. Simply put, in his poem De Rerum Natura, Lucretius stated, had God designed the world, it would not be a world so frail and faulty as we see it. In other words, how can a benevolent God design a world filled with so much pain and suffering? This reasoning was the backbone of why Lewis surrendered his faith and started his fight against theism. This conviction would be shaken while attending Oxford University. However, a full conversion back to theism and eventually Christianity would take more than just scripture. C.S. Lewis's now famous conversion is a leading example of how one's faith can intersect with rationality. At Oxford, Lewis encountered and befriended many great Christian philosophers, such as J.R.R. Tolkien and Hugo Dyson. They, along with many of his favorite authors such as John Locke, who influenced him to believe in classical liberalism, made Lewis ponder his beliefs. He started engaging in long philosophical debates with his friends regarding the logic behind their faith and his lack of it. Lewis quickly realized from these conversations that strong arguments for theism existed and were worth considering. In 1929, he gave into theism once more and became a Christian in 1931. So, what were the arguments that made him switch sides and forego the argument from undesign? Lewis proposed 4 arguments in favor of the idea that the universe was designed. Firstly, he stated that despite his view of nature being barbaric, he found it to also possess beauty. This beauty, according to him, couldn't be accounted for purely by the material world, but rather nature's beauty was evident of something beyond it. Secondly, Lewis concluded that if there was only a material world, that it's preposterous to judge the universe for being so cruel, since doing so would require an outside moral standard, which, according to Lewis, couldn't originate from nature. Thirdly, he argued that reason cannot exist without a force outside of nature. Naturalism requires that all beliefs are able to be fully explained in non-rational terms, since the natural world is non-rational. However, no belief can be rationally inferred by solely using non-rational terms. Therefore, something beyond the realm of nature must give us the ability to rationalize what is inherently non-rational, nature. Lewis's final argument is similar to how you have to look outside of the physical world to find the originator of anything we've created. Engines, for example. In this case, we look to the mind of the inventor of the engine, not an older engine model. You have to look outside of the physical realm to find the creator of the universe. In essence, an engine cannot build itself and must have been created by someone, the engine in this instance being the universe. While, of course, none of these arguments are perfect, and there are certainly counterpoints to each, they all provide rational reasons to have faith in the existence of God. Personally, I dislike the argument from beauty, as its conclusion that the universe's beauty is supernatural isn't strongly grounded and is more or less a hunch. However, the exact reason for Lewis's beliefs isn't my concern, but rather the thought that went behind those beliefs is what's inspirational and what was ultimately strong enough to convince Lewis to believe in theism. This is because these 4 arguments made greater sense to Lewis than the argument from one design, even though he never fully disproved that argument. He still believed that the world was cruel, but through the aid of his peers and his friends, he realized that there was too much beauty and mystery in the world for there not to be something greater. This message regarding the immense value of a caring community and how loved ones help you sort out a clear ideology out of a hazy, chaotic world is what all Christians should hope to grasp out of the story of C.S. Lewis, the world's most reluctant convert. Are we good?